Zoom photo showdown. Here we have an article from Android Police. They put the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra up against the Google Pixel 4, and they looked specifically at zoom. I thought this was interesting because of the fact that the Ultra S20 is talking a big game about the zoom capabilities, particularly this 100x periscope scenario. And the Pixel, on the other hand, is all in the software. It's your what does Ryan Whitwam say? He says, the age-old tale of software versus hardware. That's like a fairy tale for the future. The age-old tale. Let me tell you something.
The tech folk tale.
It was I don't know. Once upon a time.
Come hither.
Come. The age-old question of software versus hardware. I don't.
You know.
Is it an age-old tale? Maybe. Yeah. For the super nerds, it's an age-old tale. We're all included because we fully understand it when we read it. But yeah, we talked a lot in the Pixel days about some of the magic that was happening on the software end with these various hybrid software. I mean, I don't even remember what the name of their zoom was, but you just could keep zooming forever and it would resample and guess what's missing and put it back in. I mean, it was a real picture stew going on there. That's what they call it. That's the official Google terminology. And the S20, on the other hand, going more traditional. We're gonna give you more glass.
Yeah.
And we're gonna see how it works out. Now you go through this these samples. There's a number of samples in this particular article, and I got to be honest with you, Will. It's not a slam dunk for the S20 Ultra. When I first saw the headline, and of course I played around a little bit with both phones, I think to myself, yeah, probably the optical thing is going to win, the good old-fashioned glass. But you go head-to-head, you look one and then the next, and you get a bit confused because there's certain elements you like from one and certain elements you like from the other. Having looked through the various examples, there's, I believe, 2 outdoor shots and 2 indoor shots. What I can say is I think the S20 Ultra in most cases gives you the more detailed photo at tremendous zoom above 4x and into 8x territory, anything up to 10x. It gives you a little bit more detail and the edges look better. But I think in most cases for my eyeballs, the Pixel photo generally shows better contrast and color temperature. I don't know. Call me crazy. It's going to be a personal taste type of thing here. But I kind of think it's a bit unfair. Well, it's not unfair, but I think it's going to change because Samsung is probably still tweaking the software on how, on the processing that they're doing and on the color interpretation and auto color balance and stuff like this. This is a good comparison right here. So right there, you're looking at, what is that, the Pixel version?
The Ultra.
That's the Ultra. Okay, give us the Pixel. You're zooming in big time here to try to... No, that's the Pixel.
This is the Pixel.
Yeah, that's the Pixel. The other one was the Ultra. So this is a good example. There's like these little faces on the sidewalk. And this is an area where you can fully appreciate the old technology, the optical technology, just straight up glass. There's much less guesswork involved, much less software involved, and that's the superior image to my eyeballs. So it's a weird article because what comes into question here is this more promotional for the Pixel and the software side of things, or is it more promotional for what Samsung's been able to pack in the S20 Ultra? Because you're talking about an old phone in the case of the Pixel 4, and you're talking about them using exclusively software. If they can do all that with software, what if they just packed another piece of glass in there and put that alongside software? This is the picture indoors where I feel like I would probably take the Pixel 4 picture, and the person who writes the article seems to agree. And it's not, a photo and a good photo is not solely about sharpness or detail. It's also about contrast, and it's about exposure. And when you pop off that photo, color, whether you think it's good or not. And when you compare those two top to bottom, I think, well, I'll take the bottom one. I don't know about you, Will.
I will too.
Yeah.
It's just more contrasted.
And who knows why we select the things we do. It's all very subjective, obviously. and we're looking at it on a web browser, and it's been compressed and uploaded and all the rest of it. So take it for what it is, but it is a really interesting contest between sort of the premium software approach versus the premium hardware approach, and where those two things overlap and where one succeeds and where one fails and so forth. The takeaway for me is I'm actually kind of surprised at how close the Pixel still is, given the length of time it's been on the market and the fact that it doesn't have these hardware components baked in. That's kind of my takeaway. There's another example there in low light with the dog. Like, which photo do you prefer there?
The Pixel.
Yeah, the dog has the right tones.
Mm-hmm.
The dog, you see the gradation there, or the kind
more
of
truer to life. I guess
it's
color.
weird, man. It's weird. I felt this way about Pixel performance for a while now. I don't know. I haven't used a Pixel in a while. I'd like to see where they're at with the software right now. But I'm probably going to pop the SIM into the S20 first and play around with that. I do know for a fact, though, Samsung is still tweaking the software. So this could change over time. But it's kind of funny because even though you could argue that Samsung wins this particular showdown, it also kind of elevates the Pixel in 2020, saying, hey, the Pixel 4 was capable of this. We almost got a Pixel 5 coming up now. So it's amazing what they can do. Now what you really wish is you could combine the two. The Pixel processing.
Hardware and software.
The Pixel processing with the Samsung hardware. Yeah. Now you're living the dream, Will. Now you can shoot the right photo of Otis, not this halfway stuff.
Can you download Google Camera?
I'm sure you could find a way. I'm sure you could get it, but there's so many, all the different cameras, would they all be supported?
Yeah.
Flipping between them? I don't know. Somebody's doing it right now as we speak. How about, okay, so you got the S20 in your pocket. Did you shoot any photos yet, Otis and whatnot?
Yeah, quite a lot.
And you came right from the Pixel.
Uh-huh.
So why don't we just talk to you?
I mean, I came from the Pixel 3.
Still, you had heavy hitting software on there.
Yeah, it's still good. I didn't really notice a lot, too much difference. They're both really good. I almost feel like they're both too good. You know, there's just like everything else is just nitpicking at this point.
You're nitpicking.
Yeah.
And you'd rather not nitpick.
No. They're both great.
All right. Well done, Will.